Buenas, soy el maestro Juan Carlos Villao y bienvenidos a otra lección de Juan Carlos ESL. Entonces vamos a comenzar lección número 7 en el día de hoy. So welcome everyone, Juan Villao, and welcome to Juan Carlos ESL. We're going to be delivering lesson number 7 for newcomers in today's lesson. All right, so just give me a moment while I set up. And we should be recording. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, so just give me a moment. Okay, so here we are. All right, so once again, welcome. Bienvenidos a todos. We're going to start with Unit 2, About Me, Lesson 7, Feelings and Emotions. Entonces, la lección de hoy es asunto de sentimientos y emociones en inglés. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. This content is exclusively for ESL newcomers, and we're going to emphasize on feelings and emotions. This is Unit 2. We have already completed Unit 1. We're now in Unit 2. Unit 2 started with Lesson 6. Excuse me. All right, so lesson objectives. English as a second language objectives include, by the end of this lesson, students should be able to use 30 vocabulary words relating to feelings and emotions. Entonces, ya la conclusión de esta lección, estudiantes deben tener la habilidad de practicar usando 30 palabras de vocabulario, asunto de emociones y sentimientos. Use be verbs am, is, are correctly, followed by an adjective and formal complete sentences. También ya deben poder usar am, is, and are, que es, soy o somos, correctamente, seguido por un adjetivo en una oración completa y formal. Y también deben poder preguntar y hacer preguntas acerca de los sentimientos o emociones. Also, you should be able to ask and answer questions about feelings and emotions. So the language domain skills we're going to be emphasizing are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So those are our language domains in this lesson. So let's go ahead and continue. So lesson components, we'll first go over a review. We're going to review some words from the previous lesson that we practiced using in lesson 6. So we'll do first a review. Then we'll go to our warm-up, followed by vocabulary words of the 30 new vocabulary words relating to emotions and feelings. And then we'll do a guided practice, followed by the independent practice, exit ticket, and then finally we'll conclude with a 20-question quiz. So we'll emphasize approximately 10 minutes in review and warm-up, 10 minutes of vocabulary, 30 minutes in the guided practice, 20 minutes in the independent practice, and then 20 minutes in the exit ticket, followed by the quiz. Of course, this could be extended depending on student needs, and if the students need more time in a particular segment, feel free to do so and extend that segment. Entonces, esto es una estimación. Vamos a estar invirtiendo por lo menos 10 minutos en el repaso y calentamiento, 10 minutos en vocabulario, media hora en práctica de guianza, 20 minutos en la práctica independiente y 20 minutos en el boleto de salida y la prueba. Entonces, si necesitan más tiempo, obviamente puede invertir más tiempo en un segmento en particular. All right, so let's just go over the vocabulary review that we went over in our last lesson. In lesson 6, we discussed family members. So we're just going to practice our pronunciation. That's why we do the vocabulary reviews, is to practice our pronunciation. Hacemos estos repasos de vocabulario para mejorar y seguir desarrollando nuestra pronunciación en el inglés. So let's all practice each word 2 times each. I'll read the words vertically. Mother, mother. Father, father. Mom, mom. Dad, dad. Sister, sister. Brother, brother. Son, son. Daughter, daughter. Husband, husband. Wife, wife. Spouse, spouse. Mother-in-law, mother-in-law. Father-in-law, father-in-law. Brother-in-law, brother-in-law. Sister-in-law, sister-in-law. Cousin, cousin. Aunt, aunt. Uncle, uncle. Nephew, nephew. Niece, niece. Parents, parents. Grandparents, grandparents. Grandfather, grandfather. Grandmother, grandmother. First, first. Second, second. Third, third. Fourth, fourth. Fifth, fifth. Sixth, sixth. Seventh, seventh. Eighth, eighth. Ninth, ninth. 10th, 10th. 11th, 11th. 12th, 12th. 13th, 13th. 14th, 14th. 15th, 15th. 16th, 16th. 17th, 17th. 18th, 18th. 19th, 19th. 20th, 20th. 21st, 21st. 22nd, 22nd. 23rd, 23rd. 24th, 24th. 25th, 25th, 26th, 26th, 27th, 27th, 28th, 28th, 29th, 29th, 30th, 30th. All right, so that was our vocabulary review. So make sure you practice your pronunciation, and you're welcome to see lesson 6 again to remember how to apply these ordinal numbers and, of course, family members. And so that's a vocabulary review. I encourage you to continue practicing and continue writing it and speaking these terms to help you better pronounce and also better develop your English language. Sigan practicando, sigan escribiendo y sigan hablando estos términos, números ordinales y miembros de familia en inglés. Now, our warm-up for lesson 7 will relate to emotions and feelings. So the objective will be you will activate your prior knowledge to identify and use terms that describe feelings and emotions. Notice there are 3 questions or 2 questions in one statement, one sentence. So you answer the question for number 1, then you fill in the blank for number 2. And notice it's in bilingual, English and Spanish. You just have to answer it in English, orally in Spanish. It will be there for you. Tienen que contestar estas 3 preguntas. Bueno, son 2 preguntas y una oración. Número 1 y 3 son preguntas y número 2 tiene que llenar el espacio vacío y asunto de emociones y sentimientos. So if you want a moment, you can pause the warm-up and then come back to the video and proceed. Okay. All right, so at this time, you should have completed the warm-up. So we're going to go ahead and go over it, starting with number 1. So number 1 reads, how are you today? In Spanish, ¿cómo estás hoy? So let's go ahead and answer the question, how are you today? You could use a sentence frame of I am, and then fill in the blank with a particular adjective. I am fine. Yo estoy bien. So, yo estoy bien. So to answer these questions, it could be direct, and you could use a sentence frame, I am, and fill in the blank with fine. So answers will vary. So you could say, I am good, I am great, I'm excited, I am fantastic. Entonces puede la respuesta cambiar, no solamente tiene una sola respuesta. So this will be an example response for number 1. I am fine, yo estoy bien. Okay, so number 2, I feel blank, yo me siento blanco. So let's say, I feel fantastic. In Spanish, yo me siento fantástico. I feel fantastic. Me siento fantástico. Okay, so keep in mind that here we take into account an action verb, how you feel. So first person with I is I feel. In Spanish, me siento. So, or yo me siento, if you want to use yo. So in English, it will be I. I feel fantastic. All right, number 3. What makes you feel happy or sad? ¿Qué te hace sentir feliz o triste? So this is a 2-option question. So that means you could have one or the other, or it could answer both. So here's an example. Being with my family makes me feel happy. Being with my family makes me feel happy. So again, the question was, what makes you feel happy or sad? In this example, the statement is answering the question relating to happy. So being with my family makes me feel happy. So, ¿qué te hace sentir feliz o triste? En este ejemplo, estamos contestando el ejemplo de feliz. Estando con mi familia me hace sentir feliz. So, again, estando con mi familia me hace sentir feliz. Okay, so it was an optional question. You could answer happy or sad, one or the other. So we're interpreting or translating it to Spanish. All right, so also we're answering the second part of the question, which is what makes you feel sad. So, and then answer response, an example response to that question would be, being away from my family makes me feel sad. Estando lejos de mi familia me hace sentir triste. So again, we're answering the second part of the question. What makes you feel happy or sad? In this example, will be sad. ¿Qué te hace sentir feliz o triste? En esta parte estamos hablando, contestando la pregunta según triste. Estando lejos de mi familia me hace sentir triste. Being away from my family makes me feel sad. All right, so that is the warm-up. That's number 3. And we're going to go ahead and discuss and go over some vocabulary words relating to feelings and emotions. We came across in the warm-up fine, fantastic, happy, and sad. Now we're going to see some more in this list of vocabulary words. And there's an emoji for visual support, as well as the translation in Spanish for Spanish speakers. All right, we're just going to read the words in English. I'm going to read them 2 times each, and you'll see the translation to your right on the screen. All right, let's all begin. Happy, happy, feliz. Sad, sad, triste. Tired, tired, cansado o cansada. Hungry, hungry, hambriento o hambrienta, o alguien que tiene hambre. Thirsty, thirsty, sediento o sedienta, o alguien que tiene sed. Sick, sick, enfermo o enferma. Angry, angry, enojado o enojada. Upset, upset, molesto o molesta. Son alguien que se siente molesto, upset. So, disappointed, disappointed, decepcionado o decepcionada, disappointed. Excited, excited, emocionado o emocionada. Confident, confident, seguro o segura. Nervous, nervous, nervioso o nerviosa. Scared, scared, asustado o asustada. Surprised, surprised, sorprendido o sorprendida. Bored, bored, aburrido o aburrida. Confused, confused, confundido o confundida. relax, relax, relajado o relajada. Calm, calm, calmado o calmada. Proud, proud, orgulloso, orgullosa. Worried, worried, preocupado o preocupada. Annoyed, annoyed, molesto o molesta. Frustrated, frustrated, frustrado o frustrada. Lonely, lonely, solo o sola. Embarrassed, embarrassed, avergonzado o avergonzada. Embarrassed. Grateful, grateful, agradecido o agradecida. Curious, curious, curioso o curiosa. Strong, strong, fuerte. Weak, weak, débil. Energetic, energetic, enérgico o enérgica. Sleepy, sleepy, soñoliento o soñolienta. Sleepy. Alguien que le dio sueño. Sleepy. All right, so we're going to review those words once more. We're going to read each word 2 times each. We're going to read it vertically. So I'll begin. Happy, happy. Sad, sad. Tired, tired. Hungry, hungry. Thirsty, thirsty. Sick, sick. Angry, angry. Upset, upset. Disappointed, disappointed. Excited, excited. Confident, confident. Nervous, nervous. Scared, scared. Surprised, surprised. Bored, bored. Confused, confused. Relaxed, relaxed. Calm, calm. Proud, proud. Worried, worried. Annoyed, annoyed. Frustrated, frustrated. Lonely, lonely. Embarrassed, embarrassed. Grateful, grateful. Curious, curious. Strong, strong. Weak, weak. Energetic, energetic. sleepy, sleepy. So those are our 30 vocabulary words relating or associated to feelings and emotions. So I invite you to practice them when you read and also when you write, when you also when you're listening, take that into account when you hear it, and also when you're writing and speaking, when you speak them. The more you write these terms, the more you'll practice speaking them. So I invite you to constantly practice writing them. You'll see a vocabulary exercise. You're going to be writing these words 10 times each to help you practice writing these terms, know how it's spelled, and know how they are pronounced. So the more you write these words, the more you'll eventually practice speaking them as well. That's critical. All language domains work together, they interrelate, and that's how you develop the English language. Entonces, más que lo hablan, más que lo escriben, más que van a desarrollar estos términos, asuntos de emociones y sentimientos. Van a ver un ejercicio de escribir cada palabra 10 veces. No invito a que lo hagan para que vayan desarrollando la habilidad de cómo se escribe cada palabra correctamente. También lean las palabras constantemente para que también pronuncien cada palabra correctamente igual. All right, so we're now also going to get into the grammar focus. After you have completed the vocabulary drill and the vocabulary exercise, you go on to do the guided practice. So in the guided practice is a grammar